For this week's video, I want to talk about a debate that happened a while ago, a few months ago. I can't remember. Maybe a few months ago. Andrew Wilson versus Coach Greg Adams. Yeah, this debate wasn't very good. I like both of them very much. Like, I like Coach Greg Adams. I like Andrew Wilson a lot. Like, they both have high SQ, logical minds, just tuned to different uh, systems. And it wasn't a great debate. I wish they would have had a respectable discussion instead of a debate, because it just was a bad. They both don't have really good ideas. I mean, as solutions, right? So the debate is basically, I don't remember. I'm just going top of my head. Marriage in the West, right? Something like that. I mean, we all know what's going on with marriage is crumbling. It's crumbling down. Dating is crumbling. Birth rates are crumbling. Like, it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. And a lot of us men, we got raked over the coals through divorces and women doing terrible things to men, cheating, whatever. There's a reason why the red pill is popular, the manosphere is popular. There's a reason for it, because a lot of men got duped, played, uh, bamboozled. You know what I mean? A lot of men got raked over the coals, everything, taken to the cleaners, all the sayings. We got jacked up pretty well. There's a reason why Coach Rick Adams is popular and people like him. I like him the best from the Red Pill guys, all the channels. He's the one that I would watch the most. I didn't really watch anybody else, because Coach Rick Adams. He's funny. He's lived the life of a married guy, has kids, divorced, courtrooms, child support. Like, he's done everything. He's not just a young guy talking up stats. He's not a guy that, talks about the red pill and really has a wife at home, or single wife with kids from another marriage at home. Stuff like that kind of makes it weird, even though the information could be right. And then Andrew Wilson, love the guy. One of my like heroes, right? They both are kind of like heroes of mine in the internet podcasting streaming world. Um, but they both got it wrong. Coach Rick Adams, at least he tells you what he is. He says I'm a degenerate. He says I'm an atheist. He says all this stuff. He tells you straight up. He's like, you don't have to do what I do, and he gives you the information. And the red pill should be treated as like a data packet, like Andrew Wilson was talking to. I forget the guy's name, the godfather of the red pill, whatever his name is, and they call it an information packet. Yeah, that's correct. That's what it is. And you can't get an ought from an is, right? The red pill information is the is. It's the information. It's pattern recognition. It's female nature. It's the court system. It's relationships now that women are totally free, and shame has been removed, and OnlyFans and all this stuff, right? Hypergamy, that stuff's happening now. It's real. There's no denying it. It's real. Like, it's going on now. And yes, but I'm going out a limb here, but I'm guessing that there's a lot of men like me that we went to the red pill, but we're Christian. We went to the red pill, but we have morality. We went to the red pill and we tried maybe all the dumb stuff, the situationships, the spinning plates, as Coach Greg Adams says, having multiple women, or having a rotation, even the sugar daddy stuff, like Coach Greg Adams talks about, right? And we don't like it. It doesn't go with our ought, right? With our morality, with our Christian framework. We don't we don't like it. It doesn't fit well, because we're just contributing to the problem, right? The way I see it is, like, if I do these things, I'm just part of the problem, and then I'm a hypocrite. And I don't want to be a hypocrite because it's a contradiction to my worldview, to my axiom. I don't want to contradict, right? So I I I believe, I feel, whatever, I hate saying that, but that there's a lot of men like me that have a Christian framework, a Christian axiom, a Christian worldview that went to the red pill for a reason, right? We no most guys don't go there for just no reason. There's a reason why we go there, and we recognize the pattern, right? Coach Greg Adams, his pattern recognition is off the charts. He's the highest human. He's not that dumb. I know Wilson in the debate called him stupid. He's not stupid at all, right? He just doesn't understand the debate world and tactics the way Andrew Wilson does in a strict logical framework, right? And if he wanted to, he probably could learn that if he knew it was a thing, right? I'm just guessing. I'm speaking for him. I'm paraphrasing for him from what I've seen. I'm paraphrasing what I've seen, right? From their debate and from watching their streams. And it the red pill data packet, Coach Rick Adams, he would describe marriages, and I'm like, man, was he the fly on the wall? Because how did he nail it so perfectly? How did he nail these patterns, these events, these how women and wives act after years of marriage? And he could break down a relationship start to finish, from the beginning to the bitter end, and man, he gets it right. It's freaking scarily right how good he gets it. He made predictions and they come true, right? He's written 2 books and they came true. They came true. He's tracking the patterns. His high SQ mind is tracking this all, and he's predicting correctly. Now, his ought, he gives ought up to the viewer, but what he does, total pragmatist, right? Total utilitarian pragmatism, right? Protect yourself, uh, use the game, recognize that it's a game. Now, level yourself up, and what he does is he pays to play, right? A lot of us men think that's gross. A lot of us men think that's weird. A lot of us men think like, well, you know, we don't want to partake in that. And that's fine. That's good, right? So if you're a Christian man in the red pill, you're kind of there just stuck. Okay, now what do I do, right? And Andrew Wilson's answer in the debate to this, and what he goes on the red pill shows, and his answer is to use the American Enlightenment classical liberalism system of voting and politics and representative government, use it against the system. Basically Christians take over the government, lawful and legally through voting and everything, and then slowly turn the ship back to a Christian nation. And Coach Gray Adams said, "Are you out of your mind?" He's like, he's basically saying it's too late. He's like, and even if you could get that done, that's 60, 100 years in the future. And Andrew Wilson's take is, yes, we take over, use propaganda, and, you know, convince women to be wives again, and families are more important, and just convince them and use government policies to enact laws for this system to go back to the way it was, or something better, a Christian nation, right? And Coach Ray Adams is like, "You're out of your mind," and I'm thinking he's out of his mind, right? I'm like, wait a minute. There, that's a First of all, the system, like I said in my last video, the I am that I am versus I think therefore I am. The system is what it's supposed to be doing right now. This is the logical conclusion to the axiom, I think therefore I am, self-evident truths. This is what this is a system. This is where it's supposed to be now. Radical individualism brought us here. The Enlightenment, classical liberalism brought us here, and there's no going back. There's no going back. You can't go back because you would have to radically change the rights. You would have to basically have enough Christians unified, which there's no unified Christianity in America, Catholics and 30,000 Protestant sects and everybody else. They would have to unify, pick our best people, run them for government, make sure they don't have any skeletons in their closet, which people do, right? Build up a billion or 60 million, $100 million to run a campaign, slowly climb up. And then while they're in there, they can't be corrupted. They can't get taken by lobbyists. They have to, like, hello, does anybody see the last 20 years? Fauci, the last 5 years, the system is completely overran by criminals and psychopaths and lawyers. Like, it's done, dude. Like, the system is done. The axiom has worked itself through the entire timeline, and this system is run and infected with criminals, psychopaths, sociopaths, lawyers, and there's no taking it off. Anybody who gets in there, Trump was a great savior, and look at him. Look, I mean, it's a wrap. Like, it's a wrap. What regular, average Christian, good, valued man is gonna run for office and slowly climb up to governor and then run for freaking president and then win and then actually do something about it? No, it's not gonna happen, dude. Like, it's not. Like, I love Andrew Wilson, but that is a pipe dream. It's a crazy pipe dream. I get it. Like, he's trying to say, okay, we're in the system. Let's use the system to fix the problem. The system is the problem, right? The system is the problem. So if you're a Christian man like me, you go to the red pill, boom, you have the data packet, you have the you have the information, you have the red flag pattern recognizing machine now, right? And you see the patterns that Coach Greg Adams and the red pill lay out, and they're prevalent and they're everywhere. Like, there's no escaping it now. Like, it's really hard to find a good, decent Christian woman. Like, yeah, it's hard to find that single with no kids for the young men. Like, I have my 4 kids. They're grown now. Like, I'm thinking about my sons. I'm thinking about their generation, Gen Z. I'm thinking about the young men, man, and they're in trouble. They're in trouble. So when I'm talking about this, I'm thinking for the future for my sons. And it's just like, okay, we have the red pill information. It's good. It's actually good information. It's truth. It's a hard pill to swallow. It sucks when you realize it. Like, generally speaking, this is generally speaking, right? Pareto principle 80-20. Generally speaking, it's on the money. It's on the money. And Andrew Wilson's axiom would be Orthodox Christianity, which I am a inquirer of and I believe in, and it's a system that's lasted 2,000 years, and it is the correct system in my view, logically, in every way possible. It is the best system there is. But his prescription to slowly, over 60 to 100 years, run for off Christians unite, which is not happening. Let's say if it does, unite, run for office, take over corporations, turn everything into propaganda, turn it, like, that's just not. It's just so far fetched that Coach Ray Adams laughed at him, right? I laughed at it. I'm like, dude, that's crazy. Like, I get it. It's logically possible. Like, I get it. It sounds kind of like, yeah, that could work, but it's not gonna, dude. It's just not. So a guy like me, a Christian man that enjoys the red pill, enjoys Coach Greg Adams, but is also a Christian, we're stuck in the middle. Like, we're stuck in the middle of this. And we're like, damn, what the hell do we do? Like, it's just jacked up. Like, this is jacked up. Big time. You have hypergamy, film and nature running crazy, and it's pushed and it's promoted and it's a part of the United States ethos, right? Running wild, and you can't do nothing about it. We can't do anything about it, right? Not I can't say it. We can't do anything about it, right? Legally, to the courts, to the voting booth, there's nothing you can do. They outvote us every time. And then you have the Orthodox Christian foundation of relationship, how a relationship ought to be, how it should be. And that's nowhere to be found right now, but in small communities in the church. And even that's a battle, right? That's a battle because everybody here was raised with the Enlightenment axiom, this classical liberal philosophy of the founding fathers that we're living in. We absorbed it, right? You really have to think about it. You really have to dig deep in thought and philosophy and axioms and really, really pick apart the propaganda and brainwashing that we've had in this country for decades and decades and decades and decades, right? To break through the we hold these truths to be self-evident, and the God of the Constitution, the God of the United States, isn't Jesus Christ. If it was Jesus Christ, his name would be Jesus Christ on the Constitution. It's not Jesus Christ. It's a generic Freemasonic grand architect, God of nature, whatever the hell that means. Just arbitrary, uh, made up concept, right? That was used because the 13 colonies couldn't get along and they needed to fight a war, right? That's we'll take it at surface level, their narrative. So, what is the answer, right? That leaves you with what the answer. I don't know. The only answer I can logically think of is it has to start with each individual man. You have to. I mean, my prescription is join the Orthodox Church, get involved in that community, get in line with the hierarchy, participate in the church, get to know the church members, have a spiritual father, right? And then you have to slowly, as a man, it's going to I say slowly because this takes a while, build yourself up, get in shape, get your career going, get your money right. And then you're going to have to decide if you want a wife, how are you going to get one? Hopefully in the church, you'll find one there. That would be the easiest, right? But if that doesn't happen, because there's more men in Orthodoxy now than women, right? If that doesn't happen, the other options, man, you could. There's single moms out there. I know the red pill says no, and I know there's tons of reasons why not to do it, and I agree with the reasons why not to do it. I wouldn't really want my sons to marry single moms, right? I get it, but there's gonna be a lot of them, and there is a redemption arc in Christianity. We can't like lose sight of that. That is there. Being a stepfather isn't bad, generally speaking. It comes with a lot of more problems, but it can be done, right? Or stay single, but we need babies, right? We need more Christianity. We need more Christians. One of the greatest lines I've ever heard was from Michael Heiser, a scholar, Bible scholar, Michael Heiser, Protestant, but man, this line was great. He said, he was talking about the be fruitful and multiply was a command. It's a command that hasn't been rescinded, and that's how we beat the forces of evil. Is you make more Christians. That's how you do it. I'm like, duh. I'm like, yeah. It's not political. It's not like this is not joining the government and being the governor. It's actually having families and being in the hierarchy of the church, in the pecking order of the church. Yes, there's a pecking order to God's hierarchy, to God's system, the church. You make more Christians. That's how you win. That's how you've always won. That's how we always won. You just make more Christians. You make more Christians. That's how you do it. It's simple. It's not hard. That's our job. And 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 us men have like no guarantees, right? We have no guarantees. If we get us, if we find a good wife, she could turn, right? A lot of us have been through that. One day she says, "I'm not happy." That's probably the most used line in divorce ever now. Like that's probably the highest reason for divorce. It'll say irreconcilable differences, but that really what that really means and what the wife really said was I'm not happy, right? And when they say that, first of all, where'd you get that you're supposed to be happy? Like, where'd you get you're supposed to be happy all the time? And where'd you get that I am supposed to make you happy? Like, when did it become my job to make you happy? It's the most ridiculous, stupidest thing I've ever heard. It's not my job. It's not the man's job to make anybody happy. We have a job: provide, protect, teach. Raise the family, grow them with values. Right? Nowhere in there is a happiness. Not in the Bible. There's no happiness that we're supposed to make people happy. Like, God Himself could come down and He couldn't make anybody happy. Like, force happiness on them. Right? Like, we can't make people happy. It's like impossible. Either you're happy or you're not. Your happiness is your responsibility. It's not my responsibility. My happiness is my responsibility. Your happiness is your responsibility. And to know that being happy isn't a normal, all the time, that you deserve and need and should get 24/7. That's ridiculous, right? And so I wonder where they get that from. Well, maybe in the Constitution when it says the pursuit of happiness. To me, that was a stupid thing to put in the Constitution. What do you mean the pursuit of happiness? What does that mean? What if happiness for me is something degenerate, criminal, illegal, hurtful, harmful? Like, no, 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 no. That was dumb. I don't know where. This is mainly for the women. There's a lot of men too that believe this crap, but I'm talking about divorcing women that are divorcing. I'm not happy. Is there one of their main lines or one of their main axioms is that they want to be happy and they deserve to be happy and they should be happy. Like, no, you don't. We got duties, like Andrew Wilson says. We got duties to do. You got a duty and I got a duty, and happiness ain't in there. If we get happiness, thank the Lord. We got some happiness today. Nice. We can find happiness in a lot of things, in a lot of activities, and we gotta find happiness in our duties, right? Working to the Lord with joy, right? I mean, that's one of the main themes of the Bible, the New Testament, and everything. You're supposed to work like to Him, not to yourself that wants to be happy. So I think that was a terrible line to put in the Constitution. It's the pursuit of happiness. That's utter ridiculous nonsense, Enlightenment nonsense, right? So the only answer I could find, like I said, is individual men are going to have to individually make the choice to join the church, to follow the church, to build themselves up, to grind it out, to be a man worth uh, marrying, right? That some of those lines, like, would you marry yourself if you're a woman? Like, you have to really think about that and work towards, yes, you need to be valuable. Like, you need to be valuable. That's just how it is. You need to be valuable. There's a marketplace to this. We're not in arranged marriages times. You could either, hopefully, the easier way finds you, and you find a good woman in church. There's plenty of if not, there's plenty of single moms in this country. Lots of danger in that, lots of risk in that, lots of BS with that. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's going to do it, and somebody's got to do it, right? You don't have to. I'm not saying you have to. That's your personal choice. Another one would be passport. Go find a wife somewhere else from another country, and you could bring her back here. You could move over there. There's options, right? Stay single forever, like Paul. But at the same time, we need babies here. We need demographics. It's key. It's important. But it's gonna have to be us men individually doing the hard work, doing the hard, long journey for the next generation and for ourselves, right? Coach Greg Adams has the information, the is. Andrew Wilson, he has the ought, but both of their prescriptions are just not good at all. Andrew Wilson's is better, but it's built on this terrible axiom of the United States Constitution and philosophy, which is, by definition, it will destroy itself again. Even if Christians got in there, turned it around, it'll only take another 50 to 60 years for liberals or leftists or whatever to take that over, turn it around, and turn it back into what it was. It's just this is a seesaw system of money and power takes over. Self-evident truth is a constant moving goalpost, and there's no this that's not going to work. If you want a Christian united front, we're going to have to build it ourselves from the ground up, starting with our own houses, starting with the man in the mirror. We're going to have to do it that way. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. God always keeps a remnant, no matter what. If this country crumbles and falls apart, it ain't going to be like Mad Max, okay? It's going to be a slow crumbling down and a transition phase into the next thing that this place becomes. And there's always going to be a remnant of Christians, always. And the meek shall inherit the earth. We're going to, hopefully, there'll be enough of us, so now we can make the choices now to build the new system, which is not this system, because this system will always crumble. It will always be taken over by psychopaths. It will always be taken over by big money. It will always be taken over by lawyers and freaking sociopaths and criminals. The system is made for that, for the rich, and the rich are a lot of the time sociopaths and psychopaths and narcissists and dark triads and all that stuff. Because all you have to do is lie, right? All you have to do is just lie in front of the camera, lie in front of the podium, lie, 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 lie. And if you lie big enough and people start believing you, they'll start handing you money because they believe that you're going to do what you say, but it was all a lie. I mean, it's pretty freaking simple to figure out. This is a lie-based system built on a terrible axiom that is, there's no saving it. There's no saving it. So, yeah, that's my rant. That's my rant for the week. For the Christian men out there, the Christian young men that are stuck in this insane, modern, postmodern, whatever you want to call it, dating and relationship and marriage and system. I feel bad for you guys. I'm not having a great time in it either, right? I'm not having a great time in it at all. And I'm worried about my sons. I want grandkids. I want my lineage to keep going. That's what I want. It's in my DNA for that. There's a I see their young women, the Gen Z women. Man, oh man, that's really bad. Uh, millennial women, they're all divorced. They all have kids. They're all on psych meds. Generally speaking, it's not looking good. Gen X women, it's a wrap, dude. They're toast too. They're freaking toast. You got gray divorces happening. It's a mess. It's a mess. You see it everywhere. At my workplace, I see terrible marriage, cheating wife, divorce imminent. I can see it. You can see it on their faces. The guys pull me aside because I told them my story of my divorce, and they'll pull me aside. These younger men in their 30s and tears in their eyes, telling me they just caught their wife cheating. What do I do? And I just have to have heart to hearts with them and talk to them. And then some other guy comes to me, same thing, man. He's like, me and my wife are probably gonna divorce. Another guy tells me, man, my wife just belittles me and freaking handpecks me. Or I could just see it. Like, we're in trouble, dude. We're in trouble. And this is a big, big problem. And there's no easy solution. There's no quick solution at all. And there's no saving it through the system itself. This is going to be a spiritual, freaking ground up foundation first is the man. We got to get right. We got to get right with God. We got to get right with Jesus. We got to get right with the church. We got to get in the hierarchy. We got to get in the hierarchy. And guess what? We're at the bottom. And we can work our way up. But there's a chain of events. There's a system here, and we have to do it. And that's it. That's all I got. That's all I see. That's all I got. I've been thinking about this for years. Years. Yeah, leave your comments down below. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you have any ideas. Tell me what you're seeing out there in your workplaces and your families, your relatives.